Hello, my name is Patrick and this is my wife Lillian Rose. Let me tell you how I found myself here in Dr. Krish's office. Oh, it was probably 7 or 8 years ago. I had a sleep apnea study and the results were terrible. And the solution was a CPAP machine, and that was not a solution for me. So I decided to ignore the problem. Then it was about 2 years ago, we got another sleep apnea test because it had gotten worse. And again, it was worse. And again, I ignored the problem because I did not want that CPAP machine. Finally, the symptoms I was experiencing got much worse. And the only real symptom I was experiencing was my wife Lillian Rose complaining about all of my real symptoms that I never really got to see or experience. So honey, if you could touch on those, that'd be great.
I'd be happy to. When he first started having sleep apnea issues, I knew something wasn't right. The kicking, the snoring, the gasping for air, everything, it was horrible to sleep in the room with him. After a professional comprehensive sleep study was done, and as he said, they only offered one solution, and that was a CPAP machine. And I don't know why he was so adverse to it, but he said he wouldn't do it. And so it got considerably worse over time. The snoring became very loud, pronounced, violent almost, because his inhalation and exhalation caused, in my mind, he thinks that I hallucinate, but it seemed like the whole room would shake and the curtains would reverberate. It was terrible. And then he would be gasping for air, and you would hear that while you're trying to sleep, you're listening to this train wreck next to you. And then all of that was something that I learned to live with as the spouse of a person with sleep apnea. But the part that changed my feelings about it, and I knew I had to press forward even if it meant divorce, is watching him, divorce, watching him stop breathing at night, completely just stop breathing, get really still, and I had to move him, push him, jostle him, do something to cause him to take a deep breath to start breathing again. And then I would go back to sleep and wait for the silence to happen again, because I knew as long as I heard him snoring loudly, kicking me in the middle of the night, punching, being a kung fu fighter, I knew that he was breathing. But the minute he stopped making noises and being so hyperactive in bed, it would automatically trigger me to wake up, to startle my husband enough to start breathing again. I consider that abusive for my emotions, because he never really understood how severe it was, but I did. And the more I complained about it, the more he seemed kind of nonchalant about it. He didn't care because he thought he wasn't affected. And after a second sleep study, the doctor that we saw said, here's a list, a comprehensive list of everyone in your area in Texas. Everyone on here is good. And we looked at this list like many people do, and we thought, how are we to choose a good person to take care of this problem that is severe? It's affecting his health, it's affecting our relationship, it's affecting our marriage. And we took the sheet of paper to the dentist that we have the most confidence in, and he looked at it and he said, this is off the record, but there's only one name on this sheet that I would take myself to or my loved ones, and it's Dr. Krish in Flower Mound. So based on our belief that he was a person of integrity and honor and we trusted him, we came here and we haven't looked back. I'm glad he made the move to do something about it, because at our age, or any age, sleep is something that the body needs, not just wants. And I'm glad that he's finally here. I'm done.
All right. So we came up. The initial appointment was a 2-hour appointment, and I was amazed at how comprehensive it was. What I really liked was when my head was put in this machine that would rotate around me, just taking, I don't know, hundreds of pictures. You know, I felt like I was going back to the future or something. But anyway, it was really good. And the staff here is simply outstanding. So I don't know how long it was, maybe a couple of weeks after that first visit, we came back and picked up the appliance. And let me just take a moment to show this to you. This is for nighttime sleeping only. I don't snore during the day when I'm walking around or working at my desk. Really simple to use, simple to clean. And by the way, I've had this, maybe 8 or 10 weeks?
No, a little bit longer than
A little
that,
bit longer.
3 months.
And how many nights have I missed using it, or have I not used it?
You've used it every single night, even when we go on vacation.
There you go.
No matter where we go.
There you go.
If we don't have cell phone, wallet, or keys, we have your nighttime appliance.
In our handy dandy little nighttime appliance carrier. Okay, so this is easy to clean, as I mentioned, to pop in, to pop out. It just makes you talk funny.
But I like that. He can't talk to me. He can go to sleep.
And easy to take out. And that's right. You know, you do tend to just go to sleep quickly. And, you know, not that I would ever ignore you, but now I have a reason. I can't communicate with you. So, as I said, 100% compliance. Well, you can attest to really how my sleeping is now.
It's, at first, I was very nervous because we had gone, since we gotten married, when I hear silence, even when I'm asleep, when I don't hear the reverberation of noise and the kicking, it triggered me to wake up, he's not breathing. So the first 2 weeks, I didn't sleep hardly at all because it was so quiet in the room, and I thought, he's not breathing at all.
Silence was bad, now it's good.
But
so you had to readjust everything.
And I got really close to him, and he was breathing like a newborn baby, in and out. A nice, slow rhythm. I haven't been kicked, punched. I've gotten good sleep, and it took about 2 weeks for me to adjust to him being quiet. And because he's now getting restorative sleep, I'm finally getting restorative sleep, there is no way we would ever have a life without that mouthpiece again. I don't know what the technical name is for it, but that really...
Who's ever seen this one, though?
Oh, well, whatever. That really has done so much for me. I sleep better. He's not taking naps all day long and being crabby. And it bothered his circadian rhythm of sleep a lot because in the past, he would think that he slept 6 hours at night, but even I know that he probably only slept about 1.5 hours during the night. So all during the day, he'd take little cat naps. One day I walked into his office. He wasn't even lying in a recliner. He was leaning back in his chair with his mouth wide open, snoring, asleep, sitting straight up in a chair. And so he'd be tired all day, and he would say, I don't know why I'm tired all the time. I sleep every night. And I'm thinking, because you're not sleeping every night. And now he sleeps. You used to sleep about 4 to 5 hours, you thought. Now he'll sleep 7, 8 hours at night like a normal person, and then be up and semi-cheerful all day. If the stock market is good.
And as Lillian Rose mentioned, I did really notice the almost lack of naps during the day. I get to work at home, my home office, and I had this really nice high back chair. And as my wife said, I could just lie back and put my head against the back of the chair and take a quick 10-minute nap. And I would do that once, twice, 3 times a day. I was able to do that because of what I do. But to me, I thought they were refreshing naps, but now I don't need those refreshing naps. So that's really been the biggest benefit for me. where I've really noticed it, because my snoring never bothered me, but boy, it is nice not to take those naps. And this has now been, as you say, about 3 months, and this really kicked in from day one.
I was going to say that I anticipated that with some type of intervention, it would take a while for you to see results and for me to see results. It actually happened the very first night.
Yeah.
You don't see anything in this planet that happens instantly, so that was a good thing.
And I think we can wrap it up with perhaps the best outcome from this. I hadn't heard this before, but Nani, you mentioned something about divorce. Is that still, on the option list?
If I get nice jewelry for my birthday and you take me to dinner and you don't get rid of that mouthpiece, we can hang in there a little while longer.
You got a deal, Mama. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Thank you very much.